Welcome to Touchline. I'm your host, Anthony Totera, coming to you from the Mark Kern Provincial ID program. And here you see right in front of us the program and some of the young ladies that are trying to get on the provincial team. And we've got Patrick Tobo on one side, we've got Joe Nucciafori on the other side, and we're going to be talking to the coaches at halftime, getting their feeling on what they're looking for.
Good job.
Welcome again to Touchline. We're here with Provincial Coach Patrick Tobo. Patrick, a lot of nerves out there for these young women. They want to impress you. They want to impress their parents. What are you looking for, Patrick, in some of these players to bring to the Provincial program?
Actually, at this age, we just looking some player able to play. When I'm talking about able to play, the technical ability and decision making, because they're still in the stage where they're learning and they're so nervous. They need to be more comfortable with the ball and to enjoy that part of the game.
Patrick, it's so important at this age to have communication amongst the teammates. Are you stressing that in practice?
In the practice, yes, we're stressing that in the practice, but again, it's one time a week. Maybe they're going back to some habit. But if you have that more than one time a week, I think they're going to be able to keep that in them.
Patrick, I'm glad you used that word habits, because when they go back to their team, maybe their coach will teach them some things that you don't think is the right thing to be taught. How do you go about getting them once a week and changing their mind to get back to what you want from them?
At this time, I think we have just to work together. In the club, they're going to be able to get something positive, and in the regional program, something positive. But if you have a standard with the LDTP coming, I think we're going to be at the same page, doing what we're doing here and what the club doing. And I think that is about vision, and it's good idea with the LTP now.
Patrick, it's real important, the style of play that you're portraying out there. And what I've enjoyed, the ball has been on the ground for most of the 10, 15 minutes here that we've been watching. And that is something that you teach quite a bit. Keep the ball on the ground.
Yes, they need it, because in the end is what they're going to be gaining than kick that ball. At this point, if they start to feel comfortable keeping that ball, passing that ball, in the end, we may have a potential, but kicking that ball is, I always call that microwave situation, quick fix, that's not going to help.
Patrick Tobo, keep up the great work, and hopefully you can find some players that are of your style to bring to the provincial program and shine in one day for Canada as well.
Thank you, Anthony.
We are here at the regionals, and Coach Joe Nucciafori. Joe, a lot of nervous players today, a lot of tension, but a lot of passion from yourself trying to communicate what you want out there from your players. First of all, talk about how to calm them down before each and every game they play today.
Well, we had a little talk in the change room prior to the game, and it's just basically what I said to the girls: just go out, do the simple things, have fun, do the things we've been working on. And if we execute and our individual performances are where they need to be, then our team performance will raise. And it's just a matter of, I'm a good-natured person, by nature. So crack a few jokes, trying to get him to laugh and trying not to get him to think about the whole situation in the change room before the game.
Joe, they always say that there's great practice players, but there's also great game players. Now, how do you go about separating the two when you see situations like this? There could be a practice player that's absolutely fantastic, but they come in the game, they don't show.
Well, what will happen in that case is, as far as trying to get them to perform in a game, that's just a nervous anxiety that as an individual they need to get over that. In an environment like this, and the unfortunate thing is that they need to perform during the game, but if a coach feels really, really strongly about that person who can play, we might be pushing forward and stuff like that.
Joe, what if there's a player that hasn't impressed too much in practice, but come games right now, they've shown you that they can really bring it up another notch, another level, and they're more hungrier. But maybe a player that has the ability, the talent, hasn't shown it today. How do you go about handling those situations?
That is just again talking to her, convincing her that she can do the job and she can play, and giving her the encouragement and the freedom, and maybe leaving her on the park a little bit longer till she gets in. Maybe working the ball through her in the midfield, or a striker getting her the ball more. It's just about getting touches on the ball and feeding her the ball if she's struggling like that.
Joe, explain the process now. After all this is said and done, do you put down some names and you go to the provincial guy and say, look, these are the names I want on this team? How do you go about this? Explain the process after today.
Well, all the coaches all weekend will be watching all the games, and we'll highlight the players from all the teams that we think should go through, including our own. We'll get together at the end of the day today, and then the end of the day tomorrow. We'll put names up on the board, and we'll decide who do you think should go through. If there's people that are missing from our own team, we'll put them on, and it's just a little talk in a meeting until we would narrow everything down to about 40, 50 kids.
And the toughest part is, Joe, after those 40 or 50 kids are chosen, there's some that aren't going to be chosen. How do you go about making that call? That must be the toughest part of the job, to talk to the mums and dads and also the player to say, look, you need to work on X, Y, Z, and then you can get back.
Well, yeah, that's the worst part a coach has, is telling a player and the family know that, at this point in time they're not quite ready and they need to work on certain things. But it's things in life that's one of the things that they need to get used to in life. They can't always be successful. They got to learn how to fail and learn how to deal with that and move forward.
Joe Nutrifor, keep up the great work. Most importantly, keep up the passion and the drive you have for the game of soccer and instilling your values and thoughts on these girls. Well done.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Hannah, you hold now. Hannah, hold. Hannah, hold. Hannah, hold.
Welcome to Touchline. We are here again at the regionals. And ladies, your name?
Sarah Stratigakis.
Sarah, talk about the emotions and the feelings out there. It is really tense right now, but you're trying to impress the coaches.
Yeah, you have to show what you got out there. You have to do everything, and you have to have composure in your game and stuff like that. Yeah.
Young lady, what is your name?
Julia Listro.
Julia, talk about you're sweating out there. You're really hungry and you're out there, and I see you battling. It is a battle with both teams out there, and you're obviously trying to impress the coaches.
Well, you just gotta work hard and do whatever you can. Don't give up. Just if the player gets by you, just work your hardest to get back and try to win the ball and keep possession.
Well, so Julia, which club do you play for?
Unionville 99.
Very good. And Sarah, which club do you play for?
Woodbridge Strikers.
Very good. Now, Sarah and Julia, talk a little about your coaches at your club. They must have helped you a lot along the way as well. What is your coach's name?
Peter Stratigakis.
And how has Peter helped you along the way?
Oh, everything. He got me to this point right here, and I'm very happy that he did all this for me. And he trained us hard and just never gave up on us. And yes.
Well said. Young lady, your coach?
Alex Morale. And he always he worked on us so we could get to this point, and he helped us just train and work hard and to get us where we are now.
Well said, young ladies. Good luck, and hopefully one day you can represent the province of Ontario, but most importantly, the country of Canada. Good luck. Welcome to Touchline. Once again, we are here at the regionals with two young ladies. Young lady, what is your name?
Kaylee.
Kaylee, the emotions out there, the feelings that is going through your mind, trying to impress on your coach and coaches out there and mums and dads that are watching. How do you calm down before the game and do best what you do in playing the game of soccer?
Well, before the game, I have to try and focus, and while I'm warming up, I have to focus on what I'm trying to do while playing, and I have to perform well. So to calm down, I just have to focus on what I'm trying to do, which is perform well.
Now, how confusing could it be when you go back to your team and you practice one way, but then when you come to the regional program here and practice with the coach another way? How do you go about saying in your mind what is right and what is wrong? Because it could get confusing for you.
Yeah, it could get confusing sometimes because different formations and how he wants to play. If we want to go forward, we go forward and supporting and stuff, and if we're attacking, and so yeah.
Well said. Young lady, your name?
Savannah.
Savannah, talk about also the emotions getting ready to play in this tourney today against a lot of great players from all over the province. You want to shine. You want to show that you belong. What's going through your mind before the game and obviously playing it as well right now?
Well, before the game, I just have to focus on what I'm doing and nothing but the game because that's what matters. And when I'm in the game and stuff, you have to just concentrate on what you're playing and how to do the formations right. So yeah.
Savannah, talk about which club you come from and which coach at the club that you're with right now.
I'm from Darlington, and my coach is Carrie Pallister.
Talk about how you have been helped so much by your club and your coach there to get where you're at today.
Well, she helped me because I've been on her team since it started in under 8, and all the players that she's brought on before and now, they're all so good, but we just need to develop a little bit more and we'll get better.
Well said. And which club do you come from, young lady?
I come from Pickering.
Pickering, that's a hotbed of soccer right there. Who was your coach?
Barry Donnelly.
Talk about how Barry helped you along to get where you're at today.
Well, I'm first year to Pickering, and it's been really good. It's a very different transformation from my old team, and now we're in the OISL, and we're really doing good.
Well said. Young ladies, good luck. Keep up the passion for the game you have, and most importantly, hopefully you can represent the province of Ontario and also Canada.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And that is Touchline. Again, coming to you from the regionals. Welcome to Touchline. We're here with Provincial Coach Brian Roosevelt. Brian, welcome to Touchline. Brian, what are you seeing today? What are you and your coaches looking for in the athlete, in the player, to bring to the provincial team?
Well, we're looking for a few aspects. Obviously, we want to see whether or not the player is technically strong enough to be able to make good decisions on the ball and be able to be a good, technically sound player. That's first and foremost. Second of all, are they willing to compete, to go to the next level? Do they want to win? Do they want to challenge? Do they want to fight in order to be a player at the next level? That competitive instinct within them.
Well said, Brian. A lot of these players today are nervous, let's be honest. They want to make an impression. They want to make an impression to the coaches and to mums and dads. What do the coaches say before the games get going to settle them down?
I think one of the things they've got to remember is not to think about trying to make it necessarily to be a provincial player. How can I be the best player that I can be today? And if I focus on my game and being the best I can be on the field, I think that will give the players success. And then that's what our guys do.
Well said, Brian. Last weekend we had, 2 weekends ago, we had Ontario Cup Finals, and a lot of great players were at these Ontario Cup Finals. I saw your coaches, they were out here, pen, paper in hand, making notes. What if a player or two's fallen through the cracks and you want to get that player into the program now? How are you going to go about doing that?
Well, those players are always being monitored all the time. So if a player is not able to get into the initial stages with the program, the window is open throughout the whole program. So they can come in at different age groups, under 15, under 16, right up into our National Training Center. So at any time, the player can be recommended from a club head coach, from a club coach to come into the program at any time.
Brian, the last point is this. We're here with the women here today, and unfortunately our women's national team had a disaster at the World Cup, and things have evolved after that. What do you want to say to these young women that want to represent the province first and then our country, and make them still understand it is something important and proud to do?
Well, yeah, I think it was unfortunate what happened at the World Cup, but these things happened, and we have to just forget about the past and look forward to the future and say, what can I do to be a better player, to contribute to being a national team player, to make a difference for Canada.
Brian Roosevelt, thanks again for your time, and keep up the good work with all these coaches. I know that there's a lot of work to be done this weekend.
Great, thank you very much, and we look forward to having a great weekend.
Absolutely. Brian Roosevelt, provincial coach.